and he broke the barricade, and he's screaming, "I have a bomb, and I will use it. I have a bomb." And everybody just evacuated.
A frightening situation. We start with breaking news. A man runs into a bank, says he has a bomb, and takes 2 people hostage. A SWAT sniper brought it all to an end, shooting and killing the suspect. Wink News was at the Bank of America at Bell Tower Shops in South Fort Myers as Lee County deputies surrounded the bank and closed down roads. We're looking at video from that scene from around noon today.
Here on Wink News at 4, we're bringing you team coverage of this hostage situation with Wink News reporters Liz Byro and Jelena Esperto, who were some of the first people there on the ground bringing you the latest information, and Wink News anchor Annette Montgomery, who spoke to a woman who was inside the bank.
Yeah, and the 2 people who were taken as hostages are okay. That's the good news. Hello, everyone. I'm Russ McCaskey.
I'm Amanda Hall. Like we said, a sniper shot and killed that man. Let's start our team coverage with Wink News reporter Liz Byro. Liz, what led to the sniper pulling the trigger?
Well, the suspect, who the sheriff is not naming yet, took 2 people hostage, claimed he had a gun, and during negotiations, things got physical. The sheriff said the suspect put one woman in a chokehold with a knife to her throat. Now, because of that use of deadly force, the sniper took the shot to save the woman. Now, the images up on your screen are from Wink News viewers who were inside the Bank of America. You can see them peering down at SWAT and LCSO deputies armed, approaching the building. Downstairs, the chaos started when the suspect ran in through the front door, turned right with a knife visible, and yelled he had a bomb. LCSO got the call shortly after 11 and say they were on the scene in minutes.
It was a chaotic scene. We deployed all technology. That's the robo-dog, our SWAT team, the electronic surveillance, drones. A group of deputies immediately went into that building behind me and began to, as dozens of people ran out, they began to secure all other portions of the building while simultaneously hostage negotiations began with our suspect.
And after the sniper killed the suspect, deputies rushed in and got the hostages to safety. Now, joining us live, Wink News reporter Jelena Esperto, just a few steps away from the scene. There were so many people packed into this area when this happened. Jelena, what have they told you?
They all told me they've never seen anything like this before, except on TV or in the movies. Now, one woman who did not want to go on camera told me she saw the sniper shoot the suspect dead, and when fire was opened, the glass on this building shook a bit. This is video of when we got here. The Bank of America surrounded by yellow tape and several deputies on scene. I spoke with 2 men who were working in the building during the time of the bank robbery. They told me they waited in their offices on the 5th floor until deputies came to get them to safety.
There was a lot of police presence, and we could hear, it sounded like either a battering ram or perhaps tear gas or something like that. Not quite a gunshot, but we could hear some loud booms, and then they started evacuating everyone out of the building pretty soon after that.
Came and banged on the door pretty violently and said, "You need to leave now." Cool. So when something like that happens to you, like this did, I think it takes some time for you to kind of to process it and to decide how much it can affect you.
Absolutely no one came to work today expecting to see what happened, so they went home trying to cope with such violence. A man with a knife to a woman's throat and a sniper taking him out. Live in South Fort Myers, Jelena Esperto, Wink News.
Jelena, thank you. If you're just joining us, around noon today, a man walked into the Bank of America at Bell Tower in South Fort Myers yelling that he had a bomb. He took 2 people hostage and even held one of them by their neck and held a knife to her throat. A short time later, negotiations broke down and Lee County deputies shot and killed the man. Wink News went directly into continuous coverage. During that time, we spoke with a woman live on the air who was inside the bank when the suspect first walked in. Wink News anchor Annette Montgomery just spoke with her in person. What did she tell you about what she went through today?
Well, Amanda and Russ, I was actually on the anchor desk this afternoon when Marsha Brown called in letting us know she was in this Bank of America when a man ran in saying he had a bomb. As soon as I got off the desk, I headed straight to her house to speak with her in person about this very scary situation. Marsha told me she came to the bank around 11:30 a.m. and was only there for about 20 minutes before a man ran in claiming he had a bomb. Marsha told me she was next in line to speak with the teller, and there were about 8 to 10 people behind her when this man jumps over the barricade separating the teller from customers. Now take a listen to what she said happened in those moments.
All of a sudden, this person comes running in, and he didn't walk. He came running in, and he's screaming, "I have a bomb. I have a bomb." And then he hurtled over the barricade between the teller and the customer. He actually broke the barricade, and he said, "I have a bomb and I will use it." And we just all looked, and he wasn't trying to retain us at all. He just said, "Get out," and we all ran. And I didn't know that he had hostages. I really didn't. But yeah, that was it. And he was young, foolish, very foolish. No mask. No mask. So.
Marsha also tells me out of all of the customers, they all ran out, but she did see 2 tellers still inside with that man. Police have not confirmed yet who the 2 hostages were, but Marsha tells me she believes they were those 2 tellers. She did see one of them head to the back, and the man headed for the other one.
I felt so sorry for her, because that's who we headed for. That's exactly who we headed for, so I'm sure she was one of the hostages. Yeah, I know. And the other one had left. He had gone back and behind there.
And Marsha actually tells me she was just here to cash a check this afternoon. Definitely not how she expected her Tuesday afternoon to pan out. I'll have more in my interview with Marsha, all new on Wink News at 5. Live in Fort Myers, Annette Montgomery, Wink News.
We want to share more stories from inside the bank today. If you were there, please reach out to us at tips@winknews.com. Our team is talking with sources. We're going to bring you any updates as we get them in, and you'll hear much more from people who witnessed this intense scene throughout the night right here on Wink News.
That's a terrifying day at that bank. All right, there's more breaking news to get to here at 4. We now know that a Collier County Commissioner, Rick LaCastro, has a warrant out for his arrest. He's accused of hitting his girlfriend while stopped on the side of the road. Here at Wink News, we told you that there were investigations going on into these claims, and Wink News reporter Michelle Alvarez joins us now in East Naples. So do we know when LaCastro will be arrested?
Russ, Naples police say there is an active arrest warrant for Collier County Commissioner Rick LaCastro, and the warrant was a result after an altercation, a physical altercation between LaCastro and his girlfriend.
According to the incident report, it happened on October 28th. After dinner, they got into an argument about LaCastro's ex-girlfriend. They left the restaurant and got into his car. She claims he got angry and pulled her by the arm out of the car and threw her in the bushes. She called 911 and police arrived, but she said she was too scared to tell officers what happened. She went to Marco Island Police Department 5 days later to report the battery. Following a Naples police investigation, the case documents were sent to the Office of the State Attorney for review. Naples police said that due to LaCastro's position as a political official in Southwest Florida, the investigation was referred to the Office of the Governor for reassignment. The case was then reassigned to the Prosecutor's Office of the 16th Judicial Circuit in Monroe County, and the Assistant State Attorney who reviewed the case and evidence brought forward determined there was probable cause for the arrest of LaCastro for the offense of battery, and they believe he was the primary physical aggressor.
At this hour, Rick LaCastro is still not yet in custody. I have reached out to his attorney, but haven't gotten a response. I'm live in Collier County, Michelle Alvarez, Wink News.
A man stops at almost nothing to get away from police, all for a taste of Walmart chicken. Tyreek Thornton is accused of taking about $100 worth of merchandise from Walmart. When Cape police caught up with him, he was enjoying a stolen piece of chicken, and then he ran. He swam through a canal, and he hopped an obstacle course of fences before he finally surrendered. Turns out he had a felony warrant for burglary.
A man is sitting in jail after police say he gave a 15-year-old a tattoo in exchange for sex. In November of 2023, Collier deputies say that the teen asked Gerardo Mendoza for a tattoo. At that time, the teenager didn't have the cash. Deputies say the teen had sex with the 27-year-old Mendoza at 360 Salon in East Naples. Mendoza then gave her the tattoo. The crime was reported by the teen's mother. Mendoza is now in the Collier County Jail.
Right now, a deadly crash is under investigation. FHP says one person was killed after a car slammed into a person on McCall Road and Coliseum Boulevard in Port Charlotte. The road was closed for several hours while crews combed the scene, but it's now back open. No word on how that crash happened. A new study suggests adding a Category 6 to the Saffir-Simpson scale. It measures the intensity of hurricanes. Well, right now, the scale stops at a Cat 5, which is a storm that has sustained winds of 157 miles an hour or greater. But the authors of this study want that capped at 192 miles an hour. Anything stronger would become a Category 6.
There's a certain blue Jeep on Fort Myers Beach that has everyone talking. Now, we showed you this Jeep yesterday. It has a big windshield decal that says, "The locals hate you." Well, it's gotten a lot of attention on social media. The Lee County Visitors and Convention Bureau says here in Lee County, tourism employs 1 out of every 5 people. And 4.5 million visitors a year spend $4 billion while in our area. Today, our crews went back out to Fort Myers Beach to hear from local businesses about their thoughts on the Jeep decal and about tourists in general.
It's probably one of the top 3 dumbest decals I've seen, but you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I don't share those views. We're very dependent on tourism here. We love taking care of our locals, but tourism really drives Fort Myers Beach.
So it sounds like it's kind of a tough joke. They're I'm sure just trying to be funny, but I definitely don't feel that way. Here in Florida, we're a big tourist spot, and so the locals pay our bills, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. We're lucky to have them.
Well, the owners of the Jeep with the "Locals Hate You" decal sent Wink News a statement. It says in part the decal is meant to be a joke, and while it is incredibly frustrating to deal with tourists, we do not hate them, as we do understand our island needs them to survive.
More breaking news. The mom of a school shooter was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. A jury ruled Jennifer Crumbly was grossly negligent for giving her 15-year-old son access to a gun while failing to get him mental health treatment despite multiple warning signs. Her son, Ethan, would go on to use that weapon to kill 4 students at Oxford High School in Michigan. This is the first time a parent has been held criminally responsible for a mass shooting committed by their child. She now faces up to 15 years in prison. We're waiting for an update on a man who is in critical condition after a truck ran him over by the fairgrounds. Now, troopers are searching for the hit-and-run driver. This happened in DeSoto County. This was the scene near Southeast Jefferson Street. You see the Midway lights just across the street in the background. Troopers say as the man was crossing, a pickup truck rammed into him and took off. The man was flown to Sarasota Memorial Hospital with critical injuries. The truck is a white 4-door with damage to the left door. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. A daughter ripped away from a father in an instant. Autumn Giles was on her way to be an elite basketball player. Her dad and coach at one time was crushed. Now he's figured out a way to honor her legacy. The sign he got that allowed him to go back on the court.
And clear and cool as we take you outside. Tonight will be the coldest of the week with also a wind chill factor. All the details and the 10-day in just a bit.
Wink News' March to a Million Meals campaign officially underway. We're in February. You know what that means. We do this every year, and we just hit a milestone. We're so happy to tell you about this. We're now at 507,000 meals provided. That's more than halfway on our goal to 1 million meals, but we need your help to get there. We want you to join us in this effort to help folks right here in need. The website you go to, winkfeedsfamilies.com, you'll see this big red button that says Make a Difference. You hit that. That's where you can make your donation. And I want to say thanks to to some of the people who recently donated. We had a $100 donation 9 minutes ago, $300 from Danielle and Brian Black. And I also want to point out this one here from Wayne and Cheryl Connor. They say, glad to help, $350. Last hour, Lois showed you that box of food for $35. She said, wouldn't it be great if we could do 10 families for that? So $350. They answered the call. Wayne and Cheryl, thank you so much. And for all of you who can help us out, again, the website to go to, winkfeedsfamilies.com. We'll check back in later this hour to see how we're doing. We'll be right back.